Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Testing, 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 testing. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Anyways, what I was saying is, again, there is something that's being hidden from all of you. Okay. There's something that's being hidden from you, and it's trying, this lack of information, this little detail is trying to prevent you from receiving the information that you need to make full informed decisions. A lot of demonic motherfucking energies. A lot. This is, I want to say, the third YouTube live stream that I've launched this morning. Because I'm a stubborn fofo. When I put my mind to something, you're not stopping me. I'll make it happen. The next option was to go ahead and launch a live stream through Zoom. You know, you can live stream through Zoom, right? You could broadcast that across multiple platforms while you're on Zoom. So, case in point, I don't know what's causing whatever the technical issues that I've been experiencing this morning. I don't know the cause. I don't need to know. I don't care. I want an end result, and I'm going to continue to push until I get that end result. Y'all are reaching a point where you are at the cusp of leveling up. Whenever you are right about to level up, you know what happens? A lot of interference happens. A lot of interference will happen. Why? Well, you know, it's just one of those things. I'm not a chosen one. I'm sorry. I'm not a chosen one. I don't identify as chosen. To identify as a chosen one is to actually number yourself among the worshipers of Baal. And that's a principality of hell. That's a demonic being. So that's a program that's absolutely being run. That's quite possibly one of the things that are being hidden to prevent you from coming to a conclusion that helps you to make informed decisions, right? What is the informed decision? Only you know. Only you know. I think with the title being Dark Influence Must Be Blocked Out, you need to just preserve your peace. Whatever it takes to preserve your peace, whatever it takes to remain in your space of center and focus on the work that you need to do, that's what you need to do. Okay? That is what you need to do. So, I'm not going to get into any type of debate about things that I don't agree with. I don't agree, so I don't agree, and that's that. High Priestess of Earth. High Priestess of Earth. It's in reverse. Something is trying to get you into the base emotions, right? These feelings that are very disharmonic to you. It creates a lot of doubt. It creates a lot of like, I don't understand why things are happening to me. Why me? Why me? Which, I mean, that's a normal question, but is it going to get you anywhere? If you're going to ask your soul a question, make sure to ask it questions that will help to further your process, not create more sense of, but that's not fair. Soul doesn't care about what's fair. Soul cares about what will help you to progress in the most efficient way possible. Does it mean hiding from social media? I don't know that you necessarily have to hide. It depends on what your journey is, what you're here to achieve based on what your soul has decided. For some people, it probably does mean you have to stay off social media for a little bit. For you in particular, Mushfika, I don't know. I don't know that you have to stay off social media. If social media is causing a lot of disharmony within you, then probably just to preserve your peace. There's a risk that needs to be taken. And this risk involves you making a decision. I don't know what the decision is going to be based on. I don't know what you're needing to make sure that you no longer allow. I just know that emotions will be involved. It's going to try and dysregulate you. There's a lot going on here with this energy. There's a lot. I've noticed, I'm assuming I'm about to level up again myself. I've noticed in the last 48 hours a lot of attempts to really disturb my peace coming from outside, trying to reach in, trying to enter in. And really, if you don't give consent for that to come in and your doors are locked, how is it going to get in? For example, my business hours for my office, they're Monday through Friday. They're not on the weekend. So anything from the weekend, if you're sending communications, especially if it's fucking parasitic in nature, no, I've instructed my team, no, nope, open nothing over the weekend. We have specific business hours. And if what's happening is this attempt to really like, hey, look at me, read me, read me, read me, read me, read me. No, no. I give enough of myself and enough of my time. No, business hours are Monday through Friday. And it's not even a personal thing. It's like understanding that some of the rules and regulations you've set for yourself that are designed, intended to help you, remain in a space of peace and balance within the work that you do. You need to follow those rules. You need to. They're there to protect you. I'm not talking about rules that other people have set for you. I'm talking about the ones you've set for yourself, right? Those are the things that you really just need to be aware. You really need to be aware of what is pulling you in, what is trying to influence you. What is it that is trying to get you into a space of simply mirroring that dark distortion? Darkness is not intrinsically evil. But there's a lot of evil things that do things in the shadow, in the darkness, because they lack the courage and the power to successfully do it in the light where everything and everyone can see what's happening. Everything I do it up front. There's no sleight of hand. There's no none of that. And so I have these rules in place for me and my existence for a reason. No one can ever successfully accuse me, even covertly behind the scenes, of being fraudulent when I will address that shit in the light. Absolutely. Squash it before I can get started and keep it moving. This dark influence that needs to be blocked out, the only way to block it out is by fully owning your journey, fully owning your decisions, fully deciding for yourself. Because really, you're the only one that's going to be having to deal with the consequences of whatever it is that you're doing, whatever you've decided. It doesn't matter who you listen to. You are going to be the one that's going to have to deal with the fallout of whatever you decide. Okay. So confidence, be confident in your ability to navigate your life. For many of us, we don't want to do something, we don't want to decide something until someone outside of us tells us it's okay, until someone else confirms it. Why? Because we don't want to take ownership of it. That type of existence, that type of mindset is what opens you to dark influence. Influence that's designed to use you as a weaponized tool against someone else or even against yourself. I refuse to be a tool for something. Okay. Reminder. Oops. Reminder and fulfillment in reverse. Something wants you to forget whatever process you're in, some type of detail, I'm not sure, so that you don't fulfill a very important component of this part. This is telling me, all of these cards are telling me that you are literally right there from a level up. You are right there. Something doesn't want you to level up. Depending on what you do, that's what's going to determine whether you level up or not. Not everyone wants to level up. Oh, I'm really liking these cards. Yep. Absolutely. This right here, absolutely. Okay. So something's been initiated to get you to remember. Right. Something's been initiated to get you to remember, because remember, you're being given a reminder that's being blocked to prevent fulfillment. So now your soul is overriding that. It's initiating some type of cycle, some type of process, some type of event, circumstance, connection, something. I don't know what, but it's initiating that to help you remember your power. So this might be received as some type of adversarial circumstance. Um, mm, mhm, mm. You have to stand your ground for something. It's really, really important. There's going to be testing. There's going to be so much testing, testing your boundaries, testing your resolve, testing your stamina, testing your embrace of self. The more about you reject, the more labels you try and affix on yourself, the less power you are giving yourself. How many of you within spiritual communities, spiritual spaces, are heavily influenced by these influencers? It's their job to influence you. I'm not an influencer. I'm not trying to influence you. You're heavily influenced by these spiritual content creators that are convincing you to affix labels upon yourself. You're a starseed, you're Lemurian, you're Lumerian, you're Pleiadian, you're Syrian, you are a mantid, you are from Sirius A, and you're from Sirius B, and you're a Stargate keeper, and you're a chosen one, you're a light warrior, you're all of these labels, right? Oh, I'm a twin flame, I'm a twin ray. All of those labels require energy to upkeep and parameters that you have to stay within in order to be valid. So what's happened to your energy doing all of that? Nothing that will help you, I'll tell you that much. Nothing that will help you. Labels are intended to identify you in order to keep you behaving within specific parameters. Yeah. Let's take, for example, bipolar disorder. There's bipolar disorder 1, bipolar disorder 2. What's the difference between them? Well, depends on your behaviors, right? I believe bipolar disorder 1, you have manic episodes. Bipolar disorder 2, you have hypomanic episodes. What's the difference? Your behavior. Your behavior. And what if I told you I was given a specific label and I behaved within the parameters of that label for quite a few years? Because I was told that's what I'm supposed to do. That's how I'm supposed to exist. This label tells me who I am, what I am, my worth, and my dysfunction. Only to find out I was misdiagnosed. And because of that misdiagnosis, I allowed myself to be mismedicated. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Ooh, holy moly. My entire existence revolved around this identification I was given by a specialist. Why? Because that's what those labels are supposed to do. Regardless of where you get the label from, it convinces you to specifically exist within a very finite set of parameters. You're not allowed to be yourself. You can only be what's within this specific parameter. That's a dark influence. It's influencing you to reject parts of you that are necessary to push away these attempts to access your field, access your emotions, get you in a space of combat, where whether it's like verbal, emotional, social, they want to deplete you. They want that interaction. Why do you think it's part of my company's policy across all my companies? Once an independent board has determined that there is some type of misalignment, there is some type of, I don't know what word to use, but it's not going to work. Okay. It's not going to work. This is not the right fit. There will be no more communication. I don't fucking play around. I don't play around. Once I determine I am not the appropriate facilitator for you, I don't play around. I don't care how much you're willing to spend with me. No, I will not accept any sessions. I will not respond, nor my team will not respond to any communications. I don't give a shit how manipulative you are and how much you try and force interaction. That's not going to work. I'm not even going to read it. Why? My energy is conserved for the things that I'm wanting to build and grow. That's it. Nothing else. That is it. That's it. And people will try and shame you for making these decisions for yourself and your health. Oh, you can't just block so and so. That's your relative. Oh, but no. Oh my gosh, you guys have been friends for years. You can't. You have to talk it out. We need to get to a space of peace. What I've learned now that I'm no longer willing to compromise myself and my integrity, sometimes the only pathway to peace is the pathway that removes you or them. It removes you from their path and them from yours, and then peace is restored. This is not applicable to everyone and everything. You're going to have to decide exactly who and what this applies to. It's your peace. I'm not about fake shit at this point. Honestly, I've never been my whole life. Yeah. Before, I would kind of just be quiet and take it from people, just because, like, I know I can be harsh in my communication. And I know some people be hella sensitive. And then I came to realize that people who are actually sensitive, like genuinely sensitive, they will try and hide how my words have affected them. The people who are so outright with their offense, like they're offended by something that I said, they tend to be fucking manipulative people. Manipulative, pick me, it's all about me, narcissistic tendencies. And I'm at a point, fuck that. I don't give a shit how you feel. I don't. You're your mama's problem, not me. I did not birth you. Fuck out of here. Absolutely not. I will not waste any time and energy on that anymore. Absolutely not. Now, if I've mistakenly, unintentionally offended someone and, I feel that they are genuinely like, oh my gosh, there's a miscommunication. I feel it. I will apologize. Absolutely. I will go out of my way to make it clear, like, I'm very sorry. I did not intend for you to receive in the way you did, not invalidating the way you received it, but that wasn't my intention. And I hope I'm sorry. Right? Like this one vendor, this was recent. This one vendor gave me pricing for a specific set of services. They laid out exactly what they're going to provide in that service fee. And then because of my rush, I texted like, hey, my friend also wants to book these services. Do you offer a discount for multiple people? Because I had a list of questions that I wanted to ask. And they didn't address my question about a discount. And I realized, like, you know what? I think I might have offended them, because they gave a very reasonable discount fee. Oh, not discount fee, a very reasonable fee. What I was really asking is, do you have any packages for 2 people? Because we'll book you as a pair. I wasn't asking for additional discount for referring. Like, we met this person at the same time, right? So sometimes, like, for example, you can purchase a massage by yourself, or you could do a couples massage. Yes, you're going to pay more, but it's less than paying for 2 people separately. That's what I meant. So for me, it's like, okay, I needed to reach out and be like, I hope I didn't offend you with that question. What I was really trying to convey is this: I believe your prices are extremely fair and extremely competitive. I just want to make sure that you don't have a package deal for 2 people, right? So that's the thing. When you are dealing with someone who you have to constantly tiptoe around their emotions, uh, I would just stomp my way out, because I'm just tired of dealing with that kind of bullshit. A lot of empaths, we deal with those type of things day in and day out, and people don't even realize how much we go out of our way to accommodate their attitude, to accommodate their preferences, what makes them feel more comfortable in your presence. We don't bring that up. People feel so comfortable around you that even their ugliness, their ugly behaviors, they'll think it's no big deal, because I mean, it's you. You're not gonna have a problem with it. Like, are you kidding me? Because I love you to the degree that I accommodate every little thing and I anticipate every little thing. You think I deserve less than someone else who's going to complain to you and make it known to you that your behavior sucks, your attitude sucks, I don't like the way you treat me? Unfortunately, a lot of people function that way. Unfortunately, a lot of people function that way. It is you that is teaching people how to treat you. And if you are under the influence of dark things will always encourage you to make decisions. Let me clarify. Dark, malignant things will always cause you to choose the option that will disrespect your sovereignty and your needs, disrespect and disregard. I will share a story with you guys. This is from many years ago. There was this gal, and she had bought a sword for me at one point. And then at another point, way after that, she reached out to my business page, gave us a story about how she's traveling right now. She doesn't have money for her hotel room. Something's going on with her bank. And so she won't have a place to stay for that night unless I give her money, several $100s, which my husband and I, we had already decided we're going to stop all of that, because what was happening on Facebook at that time was just out of hand. People were treating me like an ATM. And I don't know why. My husband decided to go ahead and give her several $100. He's like, this is someone in our community. They need help. They're asking you for help. My husband is very much a reflection of my heart. And he's like, this is the last one. Okay. This is the last one. I said, okay. So fast forward maybe a year, less than a year. This person had become friends with a guy who defrauded me of nearly $2,000, and then used that money to, and they stated this publicly, to pay a known dark witch to curse my children, because everyone always goes for the children. Nothing happened to my kids. Do you not know who their mother is? Nothing happened to my kids. So long story short, she was friends with him. I think it was something else. But that's my opinion. And they got into a little spat. And so now he's mad at her. Mind you, she was aware what he was doing, that he defrauded me of nearly $2,000, and then publicly announced he was using it to pay someone to curse my kids. So now that she's afraid, She has her friend message me, and they're asking me to protect them from him. And I was like, isn't that your friend? Like, yeah, no, we're not friends anymore. Like, he was doing some really messed up stuff. I mean, you don't know what he was doing. And I said, actually, I do know. Are you talking about when he paid someone to curse my kids? Typing stopped. I was like, you were friends then, right? Yeah, but like, we weren't part of that. But you knew that he was doing that. You still stayed friends, right? Well, and we didn't really agree, but that was between the two of you. Okay. What exactly do you want from me? And that same person my husband had given several $100s to never messaged me. Used that friend because she's embarrassed. She used her friend, and her friend said, yeah, we were thinking that so and so had bought a sword from you, and she was thinking maybe she's going to have you resell it. Oh, to pay me back the money? And she goes, what money? I said, oh, your friend didn't tell you? She owes me several $100 for her hotel room. She stops chatting with me for a few minutes. She goes, no, she said she doesn't owe you anything. Like, you never gave her a loan. Oh, really? That's funny because my bank account shows that I gave her several $100s. And you want me to re-auction the sword that she had purchased a while back so that I could give her more money while the two of you bitches fucking sat around and had no problem that he paid someone money he stole from me to curse my kids. Fuck you two bitches. I'm not helping you for shit. Be glad I'm not pissed. They see nothing wrong with the way they use you. And the reason I wasn't mad was because I taught them to treat me that way. They learned to disregard my humanity and a dignified existence because I taught them it's okay. I don't care what you do to me. I'll still support you. I'll still give to you. Isn't it something that they couldn't ask their families for help, yet they could ask the one person they stood there and supported, a person who was trying to harm my children, who I don't even bring online? Empaths. You need to be free of that dark influence. It needs to be blocked out. That malignant, dark influence that teaches you and convinces you and hammers in your head over and over and over again, you deserve less than a dignified existence. You're about to level up. And it's only then that they try the hardest to prevent you from getting to where you need to be. They'll do it with the labels. They'll do it with social conditioning. They'll do it with threats of you being exiled and excommunicated from groups that really never liked you. They really never liked you. Just cut your losses there. Okay? Cut your losses there. Allow yourself to move forward. There are cycles that are being reinitiated, shifting, energy shifting right now. There's nothing that needs to be alchemically changed about you. What you are going through, it's increasing your strength. It's increasing your stamina. It is expanding your awareness of yourself and your proper place within your life. That's going to lead to prosperity. It's going to lead to you healing. And it's going to lead to you fulfilling the very thing they are trying to prevent you from fulfilling. All you got to do is show up. Show up for yourself as much as you show up for complete strangers. Y'all. Most of the people in our community, you all show up for complete strangers. I'm like that too. But you won't show up for yourself. You won't spend for yourself. You won't save for yourself. You won't put in the extra effort to take care of yourself. You do it for someone else. It's time for you to do it for yourself. You're just as important. You are just as loved as a people that you have no problem helping. So you need to. That's part of that dark influence that needs to be blocked out. This attempt to prevent yourself from receiving. And I will always have no shame in communicating this logic that your gifts need to serve other people and you should not charge a reasonable fee for what you can do to help them. And it should all be for free. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. It should be what you would pay someone, knowing how powerful your skill is. What would you pay someone for that type of skill, that type of service, that depth of service? What would you pay? That's what you charge. It's for your time and your effort. You're not selling your gift. You're exchanging your time and your effort for that compensation. Okay? You guys need to make sure that you begin understanding the value of you, that dark influence. Do you guys want to know where that teaching really comes from? The whole thing of if it was given to you for free by God, it should be given and shared to others for free as well. It's to keep you so crushed by the cost of simply existing that you don't have the time or the energy to further cultivate that skill and become an even greater gift unto those who you bless your gift with. I'm good. I'm good. And here's the reality for many people in our community. When you do have money, you use it on other people. You use it to help other people. Might be a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. That adds up. That adds up. And just because you can't value how much you already gift doesn't mean creation doesn't notice. There are some people that money comes to very easily. Very, very easily. Have you ever wondered why? I've found two primary reasons. One, the stereotypical, they're greedy as fuck and they'll do anything to get it, right? That's the very typical. And then there's the other that's very elevated. You get very easily because you have no desire to hold on to it. And so you are given very generously so that you could disperse it among the people. You know which one you are. You know exactly which one you are. So if you are the second type, can you just let yourself receive because there's people that you can help with whatever it is you're receiving? If that's the only way you're going to give yourself permission to receive at the start, let yourself know that if you allow yourself to receive, if you allow that abundance in, you can help more people more efficiently. More people more efficiently. Be patient with your process, okay? This process of learning to receive, to allow yourself to receive, sometimes you need a timeout. Sometimes that patience is not enough and you just need a timeout and you have to stop thinking and worrying about spiritual things, ascension mechanics and all of that. You kind of just need to breathe and experience maybe the outdoors, experience life, experience some release of that tension you hold inside you. It's needed. It's very much needed. You know how much integrity you have. Never allow anything to interfere or distort your integrity. Never allow that. Never. There's this thing that a lot of people still talk about, this whole thing of matching energy. Depends. For the most part, matching energy is an attempt to convince you to lower your frequency and match that high vibration. Because usually those people, they think they're high vibe, which they are. High vibe is basically a slur. High vibe is a spiritual slur. When you look at the oscillatory rate, let me break some shit down, right? And this is to the people who think that what I teach is some basic ass shit and you wonder why I charge what I charge for my classes. Breaking down some fundamental information. There's called an oscillatory rate. That's the ratio between vibration and frequency. Vibration is an internally held energy. Frequency is an externally projected energy. There's a finite amount that you can hold internally before you cause frequency-based damage to your etherogenetics as well as your DNA. It can shorten your telomeres and a whole host of other really fucked up shit. So high vibration, it's inversely tied to frequency. How so? Well, when you're increasing your vibration, you're lowering your field of dimensional consciousness. That increased vibratory rate pulls from the frequency that's being allowed out. So now you're holding everything in. That causes you to become much more magnetic because of the shift in your electron spin, and it makes you more dense. Inversely, if you lower your vibration, that will inversely affect your frequency. It increases your oscillatory rate, which increases your frequency. That increase in frequency allows you to anchor into a higher level of dimensional consciousness. When your frequency increases because of the shifting in your electron spin rate, you are now expanding. And as you expand, you become less dense. You become electric, not magnetic. So that's just the basic. High vibe, folks. High vibe is a slur. They're saying you're stupid. Dimensions are made of bands of frequency. It's a parameter within which a specific amount of frequency modulation can occur. Each band of frequency is represented by a visual and an audible expression of that frequency. Some frequencies can be seen as color by the human eye. Other frequencies can be heard as sound by the human ears. Depending on what degree of frequency you're on, that's what's determining how much of your heart-based existence, your ascension mechanic potential, and a whole host of other really important things can be reached by you. This is what's directly going to determine how phase locked you are within this experience you call life. I'm telling you, what I teach, no one else teaches what I teach. You can get little tidbits here and there. What I teach comes from another time and another space. I remember. Because when they can get you into a high vibe state, there's specific structures that begin to falter. That extreme density begins to tear at chords that are necessary. And then it makes you susceptible to demonic influence. To say my work is advanced, it's an understatement. It's an understatement. I'd share more publicly, but people often like to regurgitate the work, the words that I use in live streams to pass it off as their own work, to convince you they can do things they cannot. I have an obligation to gatekeep my work. If you want to learn more, I'm going to have a workshop this coming weekend. Let me put it on the screen for all other platforms outside of TikTok. It's the Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop. For TikTok, simply click on the link in my bio. Scroll and look for the blue picture. It says Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop. This is where I teach the basic principles of aura spectra bioregenesis. My system is called Kokoro 33. That's the center point of heart, mind, body, and soul. I can teach you how to maintain your field to a sufficient degree that you don't need energy work from others. Maintain your chakras, maintain your auric shield, understand how to flow your energy in ways that you've never felt, not from any master or any other person on the internet. If you want to learn how to work on other people, I have a certification program. It's not going to start for a bit, but there's an application process for that at this point. I won't allow any old riffraff in my program anymore. No more of that bullshit. There's an application process. There are tests, aptitude tests that are taken, personality tests that will help to determine, it will help to determine exactly whether or not your level of integrity fits into my program, because no more. Yep. So morphogenetic fundamentals, it's coming up this weekend. Okay, guys. Let's see. Strength in reverse. They want you to think that you are not strong enough to handle the path laid before you, babe. Your feet were custom created for the terrain that you would be placed on. If you were designed to exist in such a way where you are to ice skate, you are you're going to be placed on a frozen lake, right? Your life and your environment is analogous to a frozen lake. I promise you, your feet will be like ice skates, because you're not just going to need traction. You're going to need to be able to move through life with grace and ease. Like, babe, show out. Show out. If you are meant to climb mountains, you will have the appropriate footgear to do that. That is what you are born with. When I say you can handle your life, that is an understatement as well. You are custom designed to dominate your path. You're falling behind no one else, because the true path of soul is a wilderness unknown by any other but you. The true path of soul is an exploration that no others are authorized to take. They can walk beside you, but they cannot guide you. They have no idea where you are going. None. I don't even know. I'm not supposed to know, babe. I'm supposed to just give you confirmation of things. I'm not your guru. I don't know. I have no desire to control you. I have no desire for you to follow me. But walk beside me for as long as you need, companionship, inspiration, whatever it is. And eventually you'll walk your own path, and you'll be strong enough to do it with an awareness of your strength that nothing will stop you ever again. Your journey is still sacred, whether you realize it or not. Your journey is sacred. And if you allow yourself to be convinced by people who need you to play small in order to validate their attempts to be more than you, then it's going to be a hard journey. It's going to be a hard journey because, I did that for quite some time. And really, those type of people who require that from you, whatever you do, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough for them. Because if they can get away with one thing, because remember earlier, they're like, I told you they're going to test you, poke you, push, seeing where they can get in, right? I've had people in the past trying to test and see how much of a sob story they can give me to get me to do whatever they say. These days, I don't care. Not much. Unless I move to that conclusion on my own terms, unless my heart tells me there's no way you can continue to exist in peace without helping this individual, I'm going to stay in my own lane and mind my own business. People would expect me to be ashamed to say that, to be embarrassed to say that. Right? Give me 1 second, guys. Mm-hmm. For those on YouTube, please report this profile. There's consequences for inappropriate comments. Okay? I'm a married woman. I'm not a little thought pocket. I'm not someone who's amused by your behavior. So if you are on YouTube and you are offended by this comment right here on the screen, please go ahead and report one of their other comments. Report the profile. And when you guys are done reporting it on YouTube, let me know so that I can ban you. Communication. This is me communicating a boundary and not being apologetic for it. And no, Steve, you don't get to tell me I misunderstood. Are we friends or something? No, we are not friends. For you to make those type of jokes with me, sexual-based jokes, when I did not invite it, I did not provoke it, or none of that, that's inappropriate. Learn how to conduct yourself in a public space. Learn how to not be a demon fucking whore. You wanna play with sexual innuendo. Learn to not be a fucking demon whore. Okay? You notice how I'm not demure. I'm not cutesy. I'm not considerate of demon whore fucking behavior. It's called a boundary. It's called a boundary. All right, if y'all are done reporting, you are now being blocked forevermore. All right, let's see. Ooh. Okay. Okay. This right here, this is a pathway that parasitic dark influence is using, okay? So they want you to exist on the surface level. They want you to be at a space where you're afraid of your depth, you're afraid of your shadow, you're afraid of your darkness, you're afraid of your power. And then they want you to feel like you have to alchemically change yourself. Not all alchemy is healthy. Not all alchemy is healthy. When you're trying to permanently change aspects of yourself that should not be changed, you will absolutely reap all of the negative consequence of that. Case in point, when I first became publicly visible, you see how I can absolutely communicate a boundary and not be apologetic and remain in my space of strength, as well as remaining in my space of femininity. I used to be ashamed that I actually have a mouth on me that can be used in a very fucking powerful way. I used to be ashamed that I understand my value and my worth and I will not tolerate disrespect. So, I tried to alchemically change myself. I tried to be demure. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome. The place where everyone is welcome and you can shit on me all you want. I won't say anything because you must have been through something. No, you went through something. Something hurt you. It wasn't me. It wasn't my community. But I will take it. I'll take the responsibility for how you were harmed by some event before you knew I existed. Please stay, please. Let me speak softly to you while you disrespect me and rob me of my dignified existence. And you know what happened? The worst of the worst came out of the woodworks, and they all did what I invited them to do. And now I do still feel compassion for others, but I'm very selective of who I will allow anywhere near me and how much of my innate compassion I will allow them to witness come out of me. Because now I speak in my real voice, Not that high-pitched voice that I used to use because people would get offended. Because my real voice is annoying. Go find a video of me before 2018. You'll see exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm done. I'm done with all that nonsensical. I'm done. I'm not doing any of it. If me sitting in my own space, minding my own business, speaking with my own community is going to offend someone, then be fucking offended. But be offended somewhere else because you're taking up space. I can feel your crest. I can feel your crest. So leave me the fuck alone. Get out of here. But not my community. I don't feel apologetic anymore, because really, when you continue to apologize for knowing that boundary, for understanding how to block out that malignant, dark influence, they'll keep pushing. Case in point, there's an individual. My board gave them a message. My team delivered that message. They were told no more communication. Guess what? They decided they still needed to communicate several more times, whatever nonsensical, demonic motherfucking shit they want to communicate, just to prove that, oh, it was a misunderstanding or whatever. I don't know. I didn't read it. I didn't open it. No one from my team is going to open it either. Yeah. So communicate it in whatever language whoever you are dealing with can best understand. For some people, it's very civilized. You're making me feel uncomfortable. If you could kindly stop that behavior, I would really deeply appreciate it. And their response would be, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize. Okay, I'll stop. Thank you. And for other people, it's kind of this thing of, you fucking crazy ass bitch. I told you to leave me the fuck alone. I don't give a shit what you have to say. And even then, it's not enough. It's not my problem. None of it. Not my problem. I am not going to allow that dark influence to prevent me from speaking my truth and keep it moving. You're ready, but you're waiting. And what are you waiting for? The fragments of you that you pushed away, the parts of you that you need to come back home to you so you can exist as a whole person, whole being once again. The parts of me that are capable of defending me, I will no longer put those parts in a box. They'll invite that part out of you, and then they'll scream to the rest of the world when that part comes out and gives them a wallop on their ass. Oh my God, they're so mean. And what? If I'm so mean, why you keep pestering me still? If I'm so wicked, why you keep coming around still? Right? Because you're a fucking liar. Some people don't even realize their lies are documented. Ain't that right, HW? You didn't know, huh? Fucking weirdos, man. It's not even the good kind of weirdo, because I'm a weirdo. It's not a bad weirdo. I'm just like, weird. This is the kind of weird where it's like, are you allowed around children? It kind of makes you cup your drink a little bit more, because like, the fuck? Was your favorite movie growing up Single White Female? You ever seen that movie? I think it was about you. I don't know. I don't know. Is this your vendetta? Are you cosplaying Single White Female? Is that what it is? The fuck? Are you a bunny boiler? And obviously I'm fucking around, right? Obviously I'm messing around, and I'm not speaking to anyone in particular. Yet there's going to be at least 5 people who are going to be like, oh my God, can you believe what the fuck Emmy said to me in that live stream today? said to you. Oh, okay. So you're Delulu too. Because I'm talking to a little green dot on my monitor called a camera. I'm telling you, people are just, oh, fucking know, whatever. She feels, she knows. You can feel what's happening, right? You can feel what it is that's happening, the changes in your field. All of this like annoying drama nonsense, it's to drain your energy. It's to drain your energy. And hopefully, me speaking on all of this in this video has got you laughing and feeling like, yeah, no, they're bullshit, they're nonsense. Basura. Basura. I should have a basura expedite where, you know, we just like put on the hazmat suit, the fucking entire suit, and just like take the trash out. I do have an expedite that does this. It's called, what is it? The MEF 'em up. Where is it? I don't know where it is. I believe it's called the MEF 'em up. Actually, I'm going to be going live later tonight. It's time. I need to get back to my flow of things. So if you would like me to work on you tonight, personal reading, all kind of different stuff, I'm going to load that. If you're on every platform except for TikTok, just click on the QR code or the link in the comments, and you'll be able to see what I have available tonight. If you're on TikTok, you're going to have to wait a moment while I load it on my Hoobie. And then you'll be able to see what I have available tonight. So let me change the date. Dang, I haven't done this since early February. My bad. I see what had happened was I've been fighting for my life. No, I haven't been fighting for my life. I've just been trying to nurse my injury. Ascension has been intense. It's not an injury from an attack or anything like that. It's part of my ascension mechanics. And it's been intense. So if you guys are going through, what? Okay. What? Okay, Hoobie better stop fucking around with me right now. I don't even know my fucking email. Okay, if you're on TikTok, you're gonna have to wait until my personal assistant is awake, and then I can ask her, can you figure out Hoobie? Because it's being an absolute snatcheroony. For everyone else, just click on the QR code or the link in the comment, and it will take you exactly where you need to go. I have a mofo. That's a really good kit to remove like extreme dark influence. Yes, I have a mofo. For those of you who are not familiar with what I have a mofo is, it is short for I wish a motherfucker would. Luminous ceremony. I'm not even joking. It's short for I wish a motherfucker would. If you have some dark motherfuckers messing with you and you're done, you need it to stop. I think you should instead consider the Baneful Protection Workshop. That's a workshop that's going to be coming up. This is the last time I'm going to offer it. I wasn't planning to offer it this time, but some of my students had asked me, and so I said yes to them, and I might as well offer it publicly. But many people don't realize this. I was one of the ones that creation gave baneful magic to in order to help negate a lot of the fallen teachings that were being allowed to spread wildly through the land. This is antediluvian times before the Great Flood. The origins of baneful protection, baneful magic, was to protect the people, specifically from the work of fallen Lilith. Lilith too was on a rampage, and she had not yet had her dominion and access to humans cut off. And it's part of the baneful magic that was able to cut it off. So at one point, mortality rates for newborns were extremely high, largely in part to the things that Lilith and her family group were doing to sabotage the growth and the anchoring of that freshly birthed baby, that anchoring of that soul into the freshly birthed baby. I have tremendous amounts of information that's not accessible in books or grimoires or ancient manuscripts. These are memories that were left intact. So I don't like to teach baneful protection just because it takes me to a place within myself that I haven't really taken the time to embrace. I'm extremely well versed in black magic negation, baneful magic protection, all kind of different things. Extremely fucking well versed. But I don't know. I was raised Catholic. That's kind of like taboo. That's why I haven't embraced that part of me, because as a Catholic, I should not be able to do that. I don't curse people, but still, just the skill set, it's been frowned upon by the religion I grew up in, and that's where my hesitation comes from. Anyways, listening for truth. You need to hear what your soul is communicating to you at this point. You need to allow yourself to be aware of the ways in which your soul is trying to prevent you from experiencing the unnecessary drama that malignant darkness is trying to bring into your life. It's up to you, though, if you're willing to or not. Release the dark wound, let love live. This is telling me you're holding on to whatever that festering wound is. You're holding on to it so tightly, and it's preventing you from being able to move forward. You need to let it go. You need both your hands to clean out that wound. It needs to be, you need to go through debridement, getting all of that gunk and festered material out. The wound needs to be exposed to the air. It needs to be allowed to dry out a bit so you can begin healing. Maybe write a book on it someday. Maybe I'll include part of the history of that in the book I'm already writing. But a book on instruction about it, if I could find a way to be guaranteed that no one would use any of the things that I teach in that book, because I can make it extremely advanced. If no one would use anything I teach in that book to harm others, I would have no problem writing it. But I can't control the sovereignty of others. And so with that, I would rather have that information locked away forever within me than empower someone to hurt someone else. That's not the way I work. That's not my purpose. I can find another way to encourage that individual to heal versus giving them that degree of information. I know. Michael says that's still a form of control, you know. I know. At least it's a passive form of control. The perfection of your life, but again, it's in reverse. You might be able to hide the way things are crashing and burning in your life, but I promise you, the things that are predatory in nature, the things that are already putting you in their crosshairs, they see exactly where you're starting to burn. They see exactly where you're starting to burn, and that's going to be where they will fan the flames in order to encourage the spread of the fire. They want to destroy you. This is a Blu-ray update. Spiritual warfare began already. Starting to enter into the density of flesh. It's starting to enter into this world. You're only seeing the first portions of it. A lot of what's going to happen, it's going to be an internalized process. And that internalized process is going to involve emotional dysregulation by way of parasitic influence. If you don't know the signs and symptoms, which I'm not going to share that publicly, that's part of a lesson that I teach. I'm not going to share it publicly because, again, I have an obligation to gatekeep the information to keep my work sacred. So if you don't know the symptoms and you don't know yourself very well, you're going to struggle through this period, and I don't want that for you. One of the most powerful things you can do, outside of learning from me, I have not a certification program. I have a monthly membership. I don't talk about that at all. I have a monthly membership. If you go to my website, k33academy.com, you can actually see my monthly membership. That's where I teach every week. Once a week, I'll teach a class that's geared towards what's happening during that period, how you can help yourself, and all of that stuff. You could do that, or if you don't have a budget for that, learn yourself. Commit yourself to learning who you are, to accepting who you are, and healing the parts of you that are being absolutely exploited to access you. One of the most powerful decisions that I've made for myself in my life: to never be ashamed of any aspect of my journey. So I once had someone who had an established audience insert himself into drama that another female was trying to start with me because she was jealous. I don't know why. We were best friends and I'm fucking promoting her. But she wanted me out of the way because she wanted everything. Okay, but they don't want you. They go to you because I tell them to go to you. So this guy inserts himself and he makes a post. He doesn't name me, but he's directing it at me. He says, I have daddy issues. Okay, first, you don't know me, but let me go ahead and speak on it since you invited me to. So I went live and I said, I absolutely have issues with my father. He was an abusive narcissist. He still is. He's not a part of my life. So yes, a lot of my trauma stems from him. And then they got embarrassed. Why? I mean, you said it. He thought that I was going to be embarrassed. No, you got embarrassed, didn't you? Ain't that some shit? Yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of good person would not develop issues if they had to watch their siblings get beat. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's why I'm so protective of people who share space with me. Our lives, the things you experience as a child, it helps to form the adult that you have to be for the purpose you were created to fulfill. The increase in my emotion is coming from a realization. All that trauma worked in my favor in the end. I'm not that child anymore. I'm not. I'm not that child that wanted to protect my siblings, but couldn't. I'm now a full-grown woman, stepping further into my power. So help you, should you ever try and fuck with anyone that's in my community. Because you know what's going to happen? Thank you, Barbara. I will respond to you in the ways I wanted to respond to my father as a small child, watching him beat my siblings. And I won't feel bad. at all. So everything you go through, it's designed to empower you. It's designed to fortify you from your foundation all the way up. Allow it. Allow it. Before I allowed it to do what it was meant to do, I was simply an angry person, afraid of myself, afraid of my capacity, my power, even afraid of my integrity. Now, I know what I'm capable of. I still don't think it's a big deal, but I know what I'm capable of. You will not get away with shit with me. You won't. You'll probably embarrass yourself, and I won't care how it makes you feel. Why? Because you're not my problem. And my actions are designed to show you that. And if you don't like consequence, knock it the fuck off and try it with someone else. Very simple. Very simple. This is camp fuck around and find out. Maybe I need to make that into a shirt. Camp fuck around and find out. So to the demonic people, stay outside on the FYP as you watch my live stream. Or other platforms, stay not commenting, afraid that I'll know you're here. I know you are. But don't give me reason to fixate on you, because you've just entered camp fuck around and find out, and you was about to find out. It's up to people. You lay down the consequence, it's up to them if they're going to choose it. And when they choose the consequence that you've laid down and very clearly explained, hey, this is the consequence, don't choose that. Dish it out when it's time. If that's what they keep begging for, then they need to be served that. Serve it hot, serve it cold, serve it with a cup of acid. I really don't care. But people need to begin understanding you will no longer take that caca. They can go ahead and leave their caca in a pile, put a tarp over it and some tires on top, let that percolate until it becomes fertilizer. But you get to decide which trees in your garden of life you are going to place that fertilizer on. You are the only one in control of your journey. So start acting and moving like it. I cannot and will never control you. You are in charge of your journey. You are in charge of yourself. Start acting and moving like it. Okay? All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta get ready for my class. Yes, it's camp fuck around and find out. And once I end this live stream, my husband's going to be like, you can't say shit like that. But unfortunately, I just did. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your day. Again, I will be live on TikTok, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to do expedites. Join me if you can, if you'd like me to do expedites on you, readings, scans, activations, whatever it is. Simply click on that QR code or the link in the comment, and it will take you exactly where you need to go. I'm going to pin the comment on YouTube, so that way